Number one. Hey everyone. I have been wanting to share something pretty wild that happened to me recently when I was camping out in a national park in America. Now, I'm not one to believe in creepy stuff, but this encounter really shook me up. Let me tell you all about it. It was a warm summer evening, and I had decided to take a solo camping trip to clear my mind. The national park I chose was known for its dense forest, pristine lakes, a perfect getaway from the hustle and bustle of city life. I set up my tent near a triangular stream surrounded by tall trees that rustle gently in the breeze. As night fell, I built a small campfire and roasted some marshmallows. Everything seemed pretty peaceful and quiet at first. Just the sound of crickets and the occasional hoot of an owl, and I was starting to feel relaxed when I noticed something strange out of the corner of my eye. At first, I thought it was just a shadow moving between the tree lines, but as I focused my gaze, I realized it was much larger and ominous. It was a figure standing on two legs, tall and hunched over, like a person, but not quite. My heart skipped a beat as I tried to make sense of what I was seeing. I called out, thinking maybe it was another camper or a park ranger, but there was no response. Instead, the figure seemed to notice me, and I frozen for a moment before slowly retiring back into the darkness of the forest. I was left there, unanswered and unsure what I have just witnessed. I tried to brush it off as my imagination playing tricks on me, but deep down I knew what I saw was real. I stayed awake for hours, listening intently for any more sound or movements, but the night remained eerily quiet. The next morning, I casually explored the area around my campsite, half expecting to find some trace of the mysterious figure. I found large footprints in the soft earth near the stream, much larger than any human prints I had ever seen. They were almost canine like in shape, with long claw marks digging into the ground. As I followed the trail of the footprints deeper into the woods, a sense of unease washed over me. What kind of creature could leave such footprints? Could it be a bear? Even though bears don't typically walk on two legs for long distance, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was dealing with something entirely different was in the forest with me. As the day wore on, I decided to pack up and head back to the civilization. I couldn't shake the feeling of being watched, as if whatever had left those prints was still lurking nearby, observing my every move. The hike back to my car felt like the longest journey of my life, every rustle of leaves making me jump and fear for my life. When I finally reached the park ranger station, I debated whether or not to tell them what about my encounter. Would they think I was crazy? Would they laugh it off as a bear sighting or something other natural explanation? But in the end, I decided to keep it myself, not wanting to labeled as a person who saw dog man in the woods. Since that day, I have done some researches and discovered that sighting of similar creature have been reported in other parts of the country. People call them dogman or werewolves, creatures that are part human, part wolf, and completely terrifying to look at. Whether or not what I saw was a dogman, I may never know for sure. But one thing for certain, I will never forget that night in the woods. So that's my story. Take it as you will, believe it or not. I know what I saw. and it has left me with a newfound respect for the mysteries that lie within our natural world. If you ever find yourself camping in the woods alone, keep your eyes peeled and trust your instincts. You never know what might be lurking beyond just the firelight. Stay safe out there, my friends. Hi, guys. If you are liking the stories so far and want to hear more stories like this, please consider subscribing to this channel, like the videos, and share them. And keep supporting me. Thank you. Now, back to the stories. Number 2. My name is Jake, and I got a wild story to share from my camping trip that I did few years back. It's not your typical campfire tale, but I swear every word is true. Here is what happened. My friends and I decided to go on a camp trip in Yellowstone National Park. We have been looking forward to it for months, exciting to explore the beauty and the wilderness and see some wildlife. We arrived at our campsite on Friday afternoon and set up our tents near a secluded area deep in the woods. The first night was peaceful. We sat around the campfire, roasting marshmallows and sharing stories. As it got later, we started to hear strange noises coming from the trees surrounding us. At first, we thought it might be just some animals moving around, but the sounds were unlike anything we heard before. It was like something was growling and snapping branches, but it was too loud and too close for comfort. We brushed it off, trying to convince ourselves that it was just our imagination playing trick on us. But then things took a chill turn. One of my friends, Serena, suddenly pointed towards the edge of the campsite and screamed. We all turned to look, and there it was. A creature unlike anything I had ever seen before, standing on two legs like a human, but covered in dark fur like a wolf, was a towering figure staring at us with glowing yellow eyes. Its face was a mix between a wolf and a human, with sharp teeth shining in the moonlight. I froze in terror, unable to move or speak. The creature let out a loud, guttural growl that sent shivers down my spine. Serena started to cry, and my other friend, John, grabbed a flashlight and shined it towards the creature. For a moment, the light illuminated its massive frame, and we could see its claw digging into the ground. It was easily over 7 feet tall and looked incredibly strong. We didn't know what to do. Should we run? Should we stay and stand our ground? The creature seems to be studying us, almost as if it was decided to what to do next. That's when it took a step towards us, its eyes never leaving ours. John yelled at it, waving the flashlight in the direction, but the creature didn't seem scared or intimidated. Just as suddenly as it appeared, the creature turned and disappeared back into the darkness of the forest. We sat there in stunned silence, trying to process what had just happened. None of us could explain what we had seen. Was it a bear, a massive wolf standing upright, or something else entirely? We stayed up the rest of the night, keeping the fire burning bright and clutching our pocket knife tightly. Every rustle of the leaves or snap of twig made us jump, imagining the creature returning for another visit. None of us slept a wink. The next morning, we packed up our campsite as quickly as possible and hiked back to our car. We didn't talk much during the drive home, each lost in our own thoughts. I couldn't shake the image of those glowing yellow eyes staring at me from the darkness. The people that I have shared the stories tell me it was a dog man, a mysterious creature that lurks in the shadows and watches unsuspecting campers. Some say it's a legend, while others believe it's real, living creature that roams the wilderness. I don't know what I believe anymore. All I know is that what happened to us in the Yellowstone was real. Whether it was a bear, a wolf, or something supernatural, I will never forget the fear that gripped me that night. So, if you ever camping in Yellowstone National Park and you hear strange noises in the woods, be careful. You never know what may be watching you from the shadows. Hope you guys liked the stories. If you did, please consider subscribing and please check out other videos also in this channel. Like them and share them. And if you have any suggestions, feel free to post them in the comment section. So, till the next time, bye.